New Yorkers Dave and Kevin are on a mission to open the first vodka distillery in Manhattan since Prohibition. The problem is they don't have a clue how to do it. Luckily, they are backed by a worldwide family of micro-distilleries in the making that have at least some of the answers. Follow Dave as he travels the world to meet locals, discover cities, and learns what it takes to build and run a local distillery. And become a part of his new vodka family.
Here's my bag. Last. Welcome to London.
Oh, I just love it more than anywhere else.
There are very few cities in the world where you have the same freedom that you have in London.
There's always people striving for the next progression. That's why I'm here, for certain, you know.
London's everything, is all I can say. It's the world.
This is like the opposite to an Englishman in New York. It's the flip of that, isn't it?
Weird.
It's the opposite.
How are you?
I'm Neil Chivers. I am one half of Our London. I did about 6 years at art school, and that's where I met Clive. Actually, we've known each other now 25 years. He's tall, handsome.
I am Clive Watson. I am one of the London partners.
It was much bigger than we were hoping, or we were looking for, rather. We always wanted to start somewhere with a bit of space, but this came along, and it was probably twice what we were originally looking for.
We looked all over London. We didn't just want to be in East London or just in Hackney, but it was just coincidence that the one place that we managed to find in the end was where we both lived.
I thought you guys picked East London because of the Pet Shop Boys.
50% Pet Shop Boys was the reason, yeah. I'm glad you picked up on that. No one else has picked up on that yet.
What was the other half?
We lived here. So, a bit of an unusual route. So I did about 6 years at art school, moved to London, didn't really know what I was doing myself. I did a couple of book covers. I ended up making sandwiches, just because I wasn't doing anything else, making sandwiches in there. Quickly promoted to sandwich delivery guy. And then, yeah, just randomly got an opportunity to become an accountant or work as an accountant. Ended up at LD Communications, which is a music PR agency, about 15 years ago. I'm now a partner there. And yeah, we do PR for a few big bands, like Rolling Stones and AC/DC, Pink Floyd, some heritage acts, as we call them.
My background is restaurants. I've been running restaurants, owning restaurants for some time now in London. And now I just have one restaurant, which is Blixen. I'm actually, out of, I think, all of the partners around the world, I'm pretty much the only one that has any food and drink background at all. Take a picture, why don't you? London is a work hard, play hard city, and I've got a work hard, play hard background. My partner Neil works harder and plays harder than most of the people I've ever met, so we're well set to tackle it.
Ultimately, it came down to is that we can't not do this.
And we just thought we couldn't live with ourselves if we let this go to somebody else.
It would be just too hard to watch.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, hey presto.
Whoa.
On the whole, it's been very well received. Yeah. The thing we've found hardest, I guess, is getting it out there. London's so big, it's hard to get around. We've had one guy in a van up until this point.
Okay. So I'm Joel. I'm the salesman from London. I'm the man who sales stuff? I sales stuff. I'm the man who sells vodka on the ground. So I am the sales manager, I suppose, but I can't...
Why do you hold your finger there?
Because I was thinking. I don't know how I got into this... Well, I know how I got into this job because Neil, or as I call him, Big Deal Neil, he knows me and I did some stuff for him and I just kept in contact with him. And then one day I said, look, man, I'm looking for a job. Do you have anything going? And he's like, actually, I'm opening up a vodka distillery. And I was like, what the fuck? And I suppose, yeah, the rest is history. And there's the train, by the way. That's the train, because we're under an arch. The whole office shakes when the train goes over. I think it's slowly driving me insane, though. I suppose I don't view this as like an alcohol product. Well, it is obviously it's vodka. But the way I view this is this like amazing opportunity to bring something unusual to the market. I have this mentality that we're a startup, and whilst we work in the alcohol trade, what we're trying to do within this trade and industry is totally unique, and that drives me. So I kind of feel like I've got to get the vodka I can't really do it without the vodka in my hand. So I walk into a bar, I go in, I'm like, vodka. boring. I don't want to hear about vodka. You know, it's got to be different. It's got to be new. And I'm like, well, actually, what we're doing here is really unusual. We're making vodka in a micro-distillery under an arch in London with the only dedicated vodka distillery. It only comes in this little size here. Look how unique it is. It's a really good liquid. They're like, whoa, that's way too different. I don't, what? It's what? It's got a, what? It's twisty top. It's so small. But that's, what? And so then you give them something different and they don't want the different thing. They just want it. So it's in, oh God. It's been emotional. It's that espresso, I think. It's gone to my head. The task that we have here at our London has changed because we just signed a distribution deal with these guys called High Spirits. So our sales force has gone from 1 to 7 literally overnight. And the reach that we're going to have is so much wider because these guys are, you know, they know what they're doing. Not that we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. But we are going to be so much stronger now. So I think it's exciting now. So the future, it's definitely more hopeful than it was a month ago.
Yeah, hi, it's Dave. I'm a friend of Clark. Okay.
Hey.
Hey, Dave. Welcome.
Within the store, we house a lot of London brands, a lot of conscious brands, so eco-minded brands.
Oh, cool.
Along with the big, heavy, hard-hitting fashion houses. These guys, NTS Radio, I don't know if you've heard of them, these guys there. They have a radio station just around the corner as well.
Oh, really? So you guys basically like help out a lot of locals?
Yeah. In May, we partnered with our London, and it was just like a really perfect sort of brand alignment. We all had this like monochrome sort of branding, just happened to have all the same thing. We're all on the same page. The vodka's insane, yeah. And the guys have really smashed it. I think they've done London proud. Do you want to go into the sneaker room?
Oh, yes, indeed. Whoa! I see you got one of my friend's shoes here.
This room kind of follows on from the tunnel with the kind of geometry of it all. And we've got the infinity mirror as well, which kind of like just gives this amazing
throws me
like,
off.
vibe.
Yeah, I could go.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing that. I've been doing it in all the other rooms. Like, is that cool? And then I'm like, because I don't want to be the jerk off that knocks into the mirror.
Wow, yeah.
But I'm sure that people have done it.
Mainly in the other room.
Yeah,
that's the killer, that one. So you're a big sneakerhead then?
I am a big sneakerhead.
Yeah.
I've designed many shoes for many people, from Nike, Converse, Adidas, Vans, New Balance, everybody.
Wow.
So, but one of my covenant shoes is, and it got nominated one of the top 10 sneakers of the decade, an Air Max 90.
Yeah.
That I designed to look like bacon, based
We're
on.
going back to the meat thing, right?
Based on my shop. And till this day, it's like people still come up to me. They're like, "That's the greatest shoe ever made," and I'm just like, "Oh, I was just, you know, taking a piss out of people."
Yeah.
And it worked. Hello, is this 40 Winks?
Yes.
I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave. I'm David. 40 Winks.
40 Winks. I can
40
use...
Winks is the most beautiful small hotel in the world. Now, you're all going to have to take your shoes off
No
there
problem.
because we're very Japanese at 40 Winks.
Should we put on slippers?
You don't have to. You can go naked.
Naked it is.
When we launched, we rather cheekily described ourselves as the world's first micro-boutique hotel.
Whoa! You okay? Slippery socks?
40 Winks isn't just a place where you go and, you know, sleep and just a place to dump your luggage while you go out exploring London. You know, they're looking for something more. They've read about that. That's, you know, they've read endless sort of articles about 40 Winks. So they're expecting something that is more immersive. And you know, I mean, it's sort of simple things. It's the fact that everyone who comes and stays here has got a name. You know, we know who they are. I talk to them using their names. They're not a room number. They're not a credit card transaction. So it's a very personal, intimate relationship. But this is the main drawing room of 40 Winks. I always describe it as sort of slightly opium den-esque. So if you kind of imagine that you're in Shanghai in the 1920s and you're a rather sort of decadent aristocrat, you might well end up in a room sort of a little bit like this.
Beautiful.
40 Winks is a very particular hotel. We're principally aimed at people who work in fashion and the arts. It's like a piece of theatre. It's like, you know, walking into a painting.
Into another world.
Or walking onto the set of an amazing movie by Fellini.
That was the wow moment of London. I mean, to go and experience this other world, it was like stepping into a time machine and being with such an eccentric man that was so cool and so lovely and just amazing. His spirit, his energy, the whole house, his hats, everything was just beyond anything I could imagine that anybody would do today. Like, to have the courage to be that guy, it takes a lot, and I'm really honored to have come here.
We know how much you enjoy fish.
Oh, I love
big fish fan.
In the morning,
huge
especially.
for breakfast. Oh my God, it's the worst.
Well, especially we thought smoked fish.
This is Dave, Max.
Dave, how are you? Nice to meet you. How are you?
Hanging in there. I hear you make smoked fish.
I do indeed, I do indeed. Welcome to my arch. Fish comes in here, the raw fish comes in, and I fillet it over here.
You fillet it?
Yep, fillet it all up. Fillets, yeah.
Fillet it.
Fillet. I don't know. So we fill it all up because fresh is best. So I've been in here 6 months.
6 months, and before that you were smoking for?
I was smoking for about 2 years in the garden.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Secret smoke shed to secret smokehouse. And I follow a very old recipe called London Cure, which was brought here to the East End of London in the late 1800s.
Oh shit.
Yeah, a long time ago. And then, so that's how I started doing it.
Where did you get the recipe from?
On the internet.
When you cure it, how long do you cure it for?
Secret.
We got something like that. We have the secret low wine.
The magic is in the knowledge, and like this is why this place is a little bit like a laboratory.
It is like a laboratory, right? When I saw you with the jacket, I was like mad scientist. And a pen.
And don't forget.
Oh, you gotta have the little journal.
All about notes. All about notes. Oops, you can't see that.
Can't look in there. Don't look in there.
Just your ordinary fridge.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Nothing in there because I was smoking yesterday. Here you go.
Oh, that looks good, huh?
So yeah, so that's
enough that a kid could eat it.
That's good, isn't it? And then this is it, packed ready.
There's no bones in it.
Yeah, it's all been pin bones. It's good, isn't it? And then I do kippers. I don't know if you've ever had a kipper.
I never had a kipper. I'm not really the kipper kind of guy.
Smoked haddock.
Smoked who?
Captain Haddock.
Yeah.
From Tintin. Yeah, this is great in pies.
In pies?
Yeah, fish pie or breakfast with a poached egg.
Like shepherd's pie?
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Because when you say pie, I'm thinking of like custard pie, apple pie, something sweet and delicious, not really fishy.
So British. Here you go, have a wee try of that.
Yeah, let's have a try of it.
Here.
And
I don't have any lemon or any pepper.
Well,
but you don't need to because it's...
You could just eat it straight?
Yeah, go for it. Use your fingers.
All right, I'm just gonna take a little piece because I'm not that daring.
So this is smoked trout.
Actually, this is not bad.
It's good, isn't it? Here, I'm gonna join you because there's nothing worse than saying eat it and somebody doesn't eat it with you. So cheers.
Cheers. 2 pieces, and it's not that bad. This I could do. This is good. The other stuff that I had, not so much. I had herring the other day. Absolute worst thing I've ever had in my life.
What? Well,
awful.
Those kippers. Kippers are herring. They're smoked herring. The kippers.
Keep them away from me. Keep them away. This is good.
You like that?
I could do this.
Yum.
Yeah. Fry that up a little bit, some olive oil.
Well, I'll send you a pack over to your new Manhattan setup.
Giddy up. For a person like me that doesn't drink, but I have to sell a product, what are the qualities that I can say, well, it's vodka?
I've worked all my life in the spirit industry. I'm really proud when people that are not used to drink alcohol or vodka and they experience it neat and they just say, okay, just Yeah, it doesn't burn. It's smooth. It's easy to drink. Yeah, it was really just a great adventure. Just starting a brand from scratch. The vodka will express the flavor that we are basically redistilling here. There is several way of understanding quality.
We always talk about viscosity and about mouthfeel and silkiness as well, but as you can see on the glass as well, you get a bit of that kind of wine vibe where you get some legs and it sticks a little. In mouth, you have some really clean feeling. For me, as a sensory expert, quality is ensure that the ingredients we are using are really perfect.
It's light. It's got that citric.
Lemon and menthol, just like here.
I've always worked with alcohol. I was like 18, I'm 44 now. I work with alcohol. I always love to drink alcohol. I love the taste of alcohol, all different sorts.
We can have a sip of it.
I also enjoy the effect of alcohol.
In reality, I think we're pretty lucky in London at the moment in the sense that people trust bars, people trust places like Harvey Nichols to make recommendations. So getting them on side is the right step forward. And also we're at a time of premiumisation where provenance is key. And that's what you've got. You've got a really interesting story, really well-made product, and we get the right people behind us, and yeah, it can go for miles.
Good. Good, we can celebrate then. Good.
Whoa! Put your tennis shoes on. Or they're not really, they're for tennis and not ping pong. If they were ping pong Gucci's, you'd be winning. Those are tennis Gucci's.
Wrong Gucci's, but
wrong Gucci's. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. See? Lost. All right, so I was told that the bread station is one of the finest Danish bread companies out in London. Let's see.
How you doing?
Good, I'm friends with Clive and Neil.
How you doing?
Dave.
Nice to meet you, Dave. I'm Ronnie.
You're Ronnie?
Yeah.
They told me to come check you out because you are the Danish bread guy.
We are the Danish bread. This is my business partner, Chris.
Hey, Chris. How are you? He's working. He's breading.
He's breading, yeah.
When you guys bake your bread, what makes you guys so different?
Chris, do you want to explain bread? So for Dave, I'm going to make a banh mi, which is a Vietnamese style kind of a sandwich we have on at the bakery. I mix carrots, bit of coriander, chili, and spring onions, sweet chili, kind of sweet tomato chili jam, and pork belly, roasted pork belly. Just mix that really well. Right, Dave, I made you a banh mi sandwich, which is kind of a Vietnamese style sandwich. So enjoy it.
All right, this looks like a big sandwich that I'm going to make a mess. So, that's some good bread. In New York, you know, when you get a sandwich named after you, you pretty much made it. So in New York, I have a vegetarian sandwich called the Sloppy Dave. This is just as sloppy. And just as tasty. So it's your flat, huh?
It's not my flat, it's just my studio.
Oh, so you just do your work here?
Yeah.
This is a proper mess.
Yeah.
It's nice, I love your painting.
Cheers. Basically, I just paint paper, different colors, and then collage stuff together.
I like to be part of the painting, and I look at the paintings this close, and I like to see how things are put on.
Yeah.
And it makes it, do you feel, because I know how I feel when I look at art, but does it bring you closer? It makes you feel like you're with the artist that did it?
I find that gap fascinating. I think that's also what drives me to make it in my own right, is because there are those little things, like someone would choose to do it on canvas instead of linen, or they will use, like, for example, string in the painting. It's more like interesting to like work out what their motivation is. I've been skateboarding for so long, like 20 years, and I've been a professional skateboarder for like more than 10.
During your skate career, have you found it, because you're a skater, and I know how I feel about this, you have a connection, a global connection around the world.
I mean, I love that about skateboarding. It's like the most, it sort of shatters every barrier. Like you can go, oh, I'm gonna go to New York, who do I know? And then like find out that someone skates who knows someone else, and they'll be like so welcoming. They'll be like, yeah, come and meet me, I'll take you to this restaurant, we'll go out for lunch. And then like, that's what happened this time. I just came back from New York.
Oh, cool.
We met some people and they were like so welcoming towards us and just took us in and like showed us around. And I feel like skateboarding helped.
Yeah, I mean, it's because we have a global language.
Yeah.
And no matter what, as long as you're not pushing a longboard and you don't push Mongo, you're cool. You know, you can do it anywhere. Skateboarding careers are kind of short-lived, but then you either work within the industry and you either get a job at a shoe co.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you
a lot of friends do that. You're working in the industry.
And you stay involved that way, or you start a board company.
Yeah, which is what we've done in a friend, yeah. I'll show you a couple of the graphics, actually. So this was made in the studio. It's like this shelving unit.
J-Ru, De La. I'm friends with J-Ru.
Really?
Yeah.
Sick. So this is Paul Shire's board, so these are different things that relate to him.
Okay. San Francisco.
So they always have a bit of character within the skater. There's always a kind of biographical element to it within the graphics. Done a whole series of these, and they sit really interestingly on the wall. So if you put one next to another, the shelves are at different levels with different objects on them for different skaters.
I like the candies.
Yeah.
He likes candies, I guess.
Yeah, he loves candies, yeah.
Cool.
Perfect, man. I love vodka.
and I love vodka.
All right, don't be like that. God, that guy. Honestly, okay, here officially on film, we're breaking up as partners. It's not happening anymore. We're broken up.
It's off. Dude, London is off the hook. Man, I had a great time with the boys. Clive and Neil, they couldn't stress more about time. I mean, it's gonna take time for us to build a brand, and we need to manage our time properly. I think I learned a lot on this trip, and we got shit to do, so get ready to put your work boots on, all right?